a 1-year vacation from marriage. It feels amazing to be home, MIA said, sighing with relief as she dropped her bags by the door. Even better knowing I don't have to go back to work for over a week. Jacob looked up from the couch, raising an eyebrow. Taking a week off, huh? That's your annual leave. She nodded with a casual smile. Yep. Well, he said, setting aside his laptop, I'd appreciate a warmer welcome than that. Maybe I'll take a few days off too. We could go somewhere together. A little getaway. MIA turned to him, her expression changing slightly. Jacob, I'm not planning a little trip. He tilted his head. Then what are you talking about? I'm not just stepping away from work, she said slowly. I'm taking a week off from us, from this marriage. His smile faded. Come again. Don't worry, she said lightly, brushing past him. You're free to do whatever you want while I'm away, whoever you want, even. I won't hold it against you, and I expect the same courtesy from you. Jacob stood up. MIA, what the hell are you talking about? When we got married, she began, speaking more thoughtfully now, I didn't realize just how much being a wife was like having a full-time job. There are expectations, responsibilities. You're supposed to be reliable, do your duties, and, most importantly, keep your boss happy. She glanced around their tidy living room. Our home started feeling like a well-managed office. Every day was structured, predictable, controlled. Jacob folded his arms, still trying to understand. She continued, One day, I thought every workplace give their employees a vacation, a chance to rest, recharge, step away. Why shouldn't marriages have the same option? She shrugged. Let's be honest. Things between us have gotten dull, stale, especially in bed. I've started forgetting what real pleasure feels like. I think we both need a little breathing room. Some time apart to reignite what we've lost. Once you sit with it, I think you'll agree. You will thank me for this eventually. You've completely lost it, Jacob said, voice rising. This wasn't in the vows, MIA. You can't just throw this on me out of nowhere. I don't even know what twisted logic makes you think I'd be okay with it. Because I'm not. I won't let this happen. She laughed, a light and careless sound. Oh, Jacob. Sweet, naive Jacob. I don't need your approval. Her voice softened, almost teasing. Relax. I'm not divorcing you. I'm just stepping away. For a bit. I've been loyal, hard-working, supportive. I've earned this break. So have you. She walked over to her purse and pulled out her phone. I didn't tell you sooner because I knew you'd try to stop me. But everything's already booked. The flights, the hotel, it's all paid for. And you hate wasting money. I need to go shopping, she added, heading toward the door. Need a few new swimsuits. After all, I'm going somewhere warm. Jacob's jaw clenched. Where exactly are you going? Jamaica, she said brightly. Sunshine. Sand. You know, paradise. We? Who's we? MIA. She gave him a sly smile. My boyfriend and I. His stomach dropped. You have a boyfriend. You don't need to know who he is, she said briskly. If I told you, you might do something reckless. Like call his wife. Jacob's face went pale. Just find yourself someone fun to pass the time with while I'm gone, she said, already halfway out the door. But make sure she's gone before I get back. I'm not letting you walk out like this, Jacob said firmly. I won't allow it. MIA turned to face him one last time. Don't make this harder than it already is. I knew you'd react like this, so I planned ahead. I moved most of our money into a private account, under my name only. She smiled sweetly. You'll have enough to get by for a little over a week. She had her own credit card, issued in her name alone, just in case Jacob got any wild ideas about stranding her in Jamaica by freezing their joint accounts. As she headed out to shop for her trip, she turned to him with a cool confidence. Try to relax, Jacob. The sooner you wrap your head around this, the easier it'll be to accept. Who knows, you might even want to try it again after I'm done. She paused at the door, tossing him a playful glance. Once I get back from shopping, we'll still have a few hours together before I leave. I'd like to end this on a high note. Let's take it all off and share one last unforgettable moment in bed, something we can both remember when I return. Her tone softened. I love you, Jacob. Then she was gone. When MIA returned from her errands, the house was silent. Jacob wasn't there, and that didn't surprise her. She shrugged, muttering to herself, "Didn't want to say goodbye, didn't want to sleep with me before I left? Too bad. My lover will be more than happy to fill in. Hopefully I'll get some beach time, too." A week later, she stepped through the front door, calling out cheerfully, "Honey, I'm home." Silence. Frowning, she glanced toward the garage. Maybe she should have checked for his car before coming inside. Sure enough, the space was empty. Nothing looked different in the living room or kitchen. Everything was neat. Too neat. She climbed the stairs with a gnawing feeling in her stomach. Opening the bedroom closet confirmed her worst suspicion. Most of Jacob's belongings were gone. She folded her arms, lips pursed. Oh, so he's throwing a fit. Maybe even filing for divorce. Once he realizes how much he'll lose in court, he'll come crawling back. Lying back on the bed, she sighed. The sex with her boyfriend had been enjoyable, sure, but there were still things only Jacob's body could satisfy. She imagined their reunion, Jacob on his knees, apologizing. She'd smile sweetly, forgive him, take him to bed, and they'd reconnect, just like old times. That was a plan. She unpacked, changed in pajamas, and drifted into sleep easily. The trip had worn her out, and despite everything, she felt confident he'd return soon. The next morning, she stretched under the covers, momentarily forgetting she was alone. No scent of fresh coffee, no soft footsteps in the kitchen. Jacob had always made sure mornings started gently since the day they got married. Without him, everything felt a beat too fast. She nearly showed up late for work. Frustrated, she tried calling his cell on the way. The automated voice chilled her. "This number is no longer in service." Her eyes narrowed. "So that's how you want to play it." She hung up, then immediately dialed his office. A familiar voice answered. "Mr. Sherman's office. How can I help you?" "Hi, Sarah. It's MIA, Jacob's wife. Could you put him on the phone?" "I'm really sorry, Mrs. Sherman," the secretary said, voice tight. "He's not here." "When will he be back?" "I'm afraid I can't share that information." Mia's tone sharpened. "Since when? You've never had a problem telling me before." The answer came quickly and with unmistakable edge. "Since Mr. Sherman instructed me to give you this." Then the line went dead. MIA stared at her phone. Unbelievable. Maybe Jacob had found someone else. Maybe he was just trying to make a point, to get back at her by disappearing for a while. Still, she had assumed he wouldn't have enough time to form a connection with someone new. Looks like she might have underestimated him. "Well, good for him," she muttered. "At least now we're even. That should help him let go of all that anger." The thought didn't comfort her for long. Later that afternoon, she tried to use her credit card at a restaurant. Denied. The ATM wouldn't give her cash either. She hurried to the bank, only to hear the most infuriating news. "There's only a minimum balance left in your account," the teller explained. "What?" MIA asked sharply. "That account's under my name. How was the money withdrawn?" The teller calmly pulled up a file. "According to our records, you authorized the access in writing." The clerk retrieved the documents. Mia's signature was there, supposedly. A copy of her driver's license, too. Only the woman pictured wasn't her. "This isn't me," she protested, slamming her real ID onto the desk. The clerk didn't flinch. "If the documents are forged, we suggest reporting it to the authorities or pursuing legal action." Mia's heart pounded with rage. He did this to me. He planned this. She left the bank, seething, her thoughts spiraling. "You want to play games? Jacob? Fine. I can play dirty too." She stormed into the nearest police station and filed a report for fraud, for identity theft, and for forging her name. The officers took down her statement, asking if she had any idea where Jacob and the mystery woman might have gone. MIA listed every possible lead: old friends, former colleagues, extended family, even out-of-touch acquaintances. The police and FBI followed up on the tips, but eventually it became clear They were chasing ghosts. Without solid leads or new information, the case grew cold. Hiring a lawyer or a private investigator was out of the question. Mia's finances were vanishing faster than her hope. Desperate, she started calling every person in Jacob's life she could think of, but the responses were chillingly uniform. No idea where he is. And honestly, even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Reality hit her like a tidal wave. I was used, she thought bitterly, traded in for a fling in the tropics. Now left behind with a mortgage, mounting bills, and no partner to share the weight. Selling the house wasn't an option, it was jointly owned. And she couldn't file for abandonment because he hadn't been gone long enough. Legally, he was still her husband. Financially, she was sinking. With no way out, MIA filed for bankruptcy. A hard reset. A reluctant surrender. The letter came on moving day. She found it in the mailbox. No return address. Just a name in Jacob's handwriting. MIA. You probably thought I'd be waiting for you to finish your little experiment and come back home, expecting everything to fall back into place. But you must have forgotten, I'm a defense attorney. Over the years, I represented more than a few con artists, forgers, and grifters. Some were incredibly talented. One woman in particular stuck with me, not just because of her skill, but because she was stunning. I remembered her after all this time, tracked her down. She was trying to live straight, but couldn't find steady work. She was broke, starving, almost, faced with going back to a life of crime. Always. At first, she thought I was setting her up. But once I explained what I needed, she saw it for what it was, a way out. Her one condition? If she helped me pull it off, I had to take her with me. Disappear together. Start over. One night with her, and I realized I didn't want to go back. She created a flawless fake driver's license with your name and her face. Then she went to the bank pretending to be you. Signed your name. It passed without question. No one there knew what you actually looked like, only what was on the ID. It worked perfectly. Originally, I planned to match your 1-week break with a little sabbatical of my own. I even thought about returning your money after my time away. But when I saw the way you left, like I was disposable, like I didn't matter, something in me snapped. That generosity is long gone. Now, after spending time with someone who actually sees me, I've made up my mind. No sabbatical. No reconciliation. No divorce papers. Since you like to treat marriage like a corporate job, here's my response. MIA, you're fired.